Hi, I'm Brandon with Velvet Box, and thank you for joining me for the product portion of the Your First Time class, where I'm going to talk about a handful of products to help make sure your first time is special. Starting with the number one accessory to all great sex, and that is a lubricant. Your first time is already going to be a little awkward and a little uncomfortable. And one way to alleviate some of that discomfort is to add a lubricant to your play. Why? Because your own natural lubrication doesn't always show up on cue, and because even if you think you do produce enough lubrication, adding a little extra lube to it makes everything feel even better. Plus, you can really expand your horizons by adding in a flavored lubricant, which can help, improve your foreplay, or a stimulating lubricant, which heightens everyone's sensitivity. There's just so much out there revolving around lubricant to help make sure that your experience is really wonderful. Now, a little bit about lube. There are four main bases: water-based, silicone-based, hybrid, and oil-based. Water-based lubricants make up the widest selection on the market, right? You can pretty much everywhere sells a water-based lubricant, and those are great for first-time play. Why? Because it's easily washed away, it is condom compatible, it's toy compatible, and I guess you can use it for pretty much anything, and especially anal play if your first time is involving anal sex, which we'll talk about later. Next is silicone-based lubricant. Silicone-based lubricants are great because they're water resistant and tasteless. However, you can't use them with sex toys, and it can stain fabrics, so you want to be very careful with your silicone lubricants. Next would be a hybrid. Hybrid lubricants are a combination of water and silicone-based lubricants bonded together. And they kind of have the best of both worlds. They're longer lasting, like a silicone lubricant, but they don't stain fabrics and it washes away more easily like a water-based. And lastly, there's oil-based lubricants. We do not recommend you use oil-based lubricants for vaginal sex. Those should be reserved for anal sex or male masturbation. Why? Because it's hard for the body to naturally eliminate an oil, so it can throw off the delicate balance of the pH of the vagina, and it can cause a urinary tract infection or a yeast infection. We don't want that. Also, oil-based lubricants damage condoms. So if you're using a condom and an oil-based lubricant will cause it to break. So avoid that. Stick with your water-based and you'll be good. Next, we're going to talk about massage oil. Why? Because your first time is exciting, but it can also be really stressful. So one way to relax and help connect with your partner is to give each other a sensual massage. So it allows you to learn about each other's bodies. It allows you to slow down and enjoy time with each other, making your first time even more special because you're never going to forget it. Massage oils are great because they smell good and they feel good, and allows you to build trust and intimacy and have that one-on-one connection. However, remember that an oil-based massage oil is not a lubricant and should not be used vaginally or with a condom because it will break. Now, the next product I'm going to talk about is, of course, a condom. It's your first time, so you want to be prepared, and you should absolutely have condoms nearby. And not just one condom, you should have lots of condoms nearby. Why? Because you're probably going to fuddle around and mess up the first time, and maybe the second time, and more so because you're probably going to be having fun and you might need more than one. Another thing to keep in mind is that you should always have a condom on you, no matter who you are, no matter what gender you are, no matter what. You should always be thinking of protecting yourself. Never rely on someone else to come prepared. So always have condoms handy and ready to go so that when you're ready to go, everything is in place. Now, next product I'm going to talk about is a bullet, like this one. A bullet is a little small, handheld, clitoral vibrator or external vibrator, a vibrator that can be used anywhere on the outside of the body. And that's for anybody. So anywhere you like to be licked, kissed, or tickled, a vibrator can help enhance that sensation. But most importantly, a vibrator is a great clitoral toy. And let's face it, most clitoris owners don't always experience the full range of pleasure during their first times as maybe a penis owner might, right? The clitoris is a little harder to stimulate, especially during intercourse, and let's face it, you might not last as long on your first time. So, one way to make sure that everyone gets the same enjoyable experience is to incorporate a vibrator, like this one, a bullet, into your foreplay. And give your clitoris owner an orgasm even before you've had penetrative sex. And that way, no matter how long it lasts, everybody's happy, everybody's satisfied. Now, the next product I'm going to talk about would be some lingerie. Now, you're never going to forget your first time, so it should be special. So let's dress it up a little. Wear something that makes you feel confident and sexy. And I'm not talking about just the ladies. No, I'm talking about everyone. Get yourself something new. Get yourself something that fits. Get yourself something that you look good in, that gives you the confidence to, show off a little. You dress up to go out, so why not dress up to make your first time even more special? Now, last thing I'm going to talk about is an anal douche, like this one. Because for some, anal play is very much involved in your first time. Now, you could go to the grocery store and buy an enema, but the fluid in an enema contains a laxative, so never use that, okay? If you buy a flea enema from the store, just pour the fluid out and use lukewarm water instead. Or pick up one of these reusable anal douche bulbs. Fill it with warm water and use the following steps, okay? First, lubricate the anus and then lubricate the tip of the douche. Insert the toy into the anus and squeeze out the water and then remove the toy, okay? Hold the water in there for a minute or so and then release in the toilet and repeat until the water runs clear. Now, here's the thing. If you have a healthy digestive system, then you probably don't have anything in your colon unless you feel like you have to go. So you're probably fine. But if you want that reassurance that nothing is going to happen, then you can use an anal douche to make sure you're fully prepared. But always remember to use lukewarm water. Cold water can cause cramping. Now, if an accident does happen, I want to reassure you that it's the body's natural reaction, and sometimes stuff happens. So don't let anyone ever shame you. Just hop in the shower, rinse it off, and go back to having a good time. So be sure to check out www.thevelvetbox.com for these fabulous products and many, many more, or come check out one of our fantastic stores. Thank you and have a good night.